Today we're going to be talking about CDAT activities that are targeted towards parents and carers of young people who use drugs and alcohol. And we're really privileged to have Vivienne Lee with us today. Vivienne is a counsellor with SDECC, Sydney Drug Education and Counselling Centre. So welcome, Vivienne. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Dennis.
So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what you do at SDECC with parents and carers of young people?
Sure. So I'm a drug and alcohol counsellor at SDECC at the St Leonard's office. I've joined SDECC in 2018 and primarily provide counselling to young people. But at the same time, I also do provide group work for parents and also provide counselling to parents with the young people who has a problematic drug use.
Obviously, in that work, encounter a lot of situations where parents and carers are concerned about the use of substances by their young people. So what are some of those concerns that you observe in that work?
The most often ones I hear from parents or carers, the concerns around young people's substance use will be around what is the adverse effect substance use on my young person's brain. They're so young, will there be long-term damage to their brain? And another one will be around the mental health part of things, how that affects their mental health. Is a bit more around the substance use, or that's their mental health disorder that I'm looking at. And the last one will be majority around parents' concerns will be, will my child be functionable enough in the future around work or study? Can they finish their study?
And among those concerns, which ones are the more serious from the point of view of the work that you do and the things that you encounter?
As you can see, parents or carers really care about their young person. Therefore, they will ask those questions. Then what we see the most thing is that creates a lot of family conflict between young people and their parents or carers. And those conflict can lead to family violence, which we see that on the increase. And those family violence is quite concerning because not only the young people can perpetrate violence towards their parents, sometimes without knowing, parents can also perpetrate violence to a young person and other family members.
They have significant implications in terms of the physical and emotional safety for members of the family.
Often we see some of our parents actually show symptoms of PTSD as well, and that will affect how they parent, and that will affect how they interact with other people and their own mental health. And
in your experience, do most families open up about the concerns that they have, or are they more concerned about preserving their own confidentiality and privacy around those issues?
That's a good question, because when it comes to drug and alcohol, we consistently see not only the young person may feel like they've been discriminated against. Actually, in fact, we will consistently hear parents also feel there is a strong stigma around the whole family because of the young person's substance use, which result in a lot of isolation for the family, especially family members, not only just to the parents, as well as siblings. We often hear stories around parents saying, how often can I continue to talk about my young person's substance use to my friends or to other parents in the school? I just get this sense they don't get it. And so therefore they don't share that anymore because of the stigma and also the lack of understanding where they're at.
Yeah. The shame and the embarrassment that these families are experiencing around their the difficulties they're having in terms of coping in those situations is preventing them from reaching out to get the kind of support that they need.
Yes, and we often see not only they don't reach out, or perhaps there's an underlying sense of hopelessness. When they do reach out, they also feel confused. Who should I go to? Not fully comprehend what kind of services are available to them. Okay. And so we often see parents, when they do come to SDECC, they're at that point, they just feel desperate and don't know what to do. And psychologically tired as well.
Yes, yeah, I can imagine that would be a very taxing situation for them to be in. And also there are presumably countless other families out there who aren't going to services like SDECC and others to get the support that they need. So it occurs to me that CDATs have a really important role to play in terms of facilitating that increased knowledge and creating some kind of environment where families are more free to open up about what's going on for them, and also to inform them of the kind of help and support that is available to them in their communities.
I believe so. By creating a space where we're first acknowledging what's going on in the community for some of these families, I think it will be a good start. Yeah. And inviting people in a way where they can find out a bit more what's available for them, in terms of inviting services, not only just drug and alcohol, also mental health part of things, specialized services in the area of supporting young people and their families, where parents and carers can gain some knowledge and information, even just options, so they can make an informed decision of where they want to go or how I can navigate the system. Yeah. That will be very helpful for a lot of our parents.
Yeah, I can certainly understand that would be the case. So creating for CDATs then to be able to host or conduct an event where there's some sort of normalization available to families who are experiencing these difficulties, and let them understand that what they're going through is, while can be difficult and trying, they're not the only people who are experiencing that it is normal and is common under those circumstances to experience those difficulties, and to resist the need and the temptation to shut down rather to reach out for help, and then provide the various opportunities for them to find the help that they need, the support services around drugs and alcohol, around mental health for families and for young people.
Yes, and I may add also culturally appropriate services that are available for culturally diverse families will be also quite helpful.
Yeah, that's a really important point. Thanks for making that. Wonderful. Well, Vivienne, thank you very much for your time. I think that's really useful information for us to be able to share with the CDATs in terms of how they can most effectively support the families, in particular in their communities, around the use by young people of drugs and alcohol. Once again, really appreciate your time.
Thank you.